is purely AI generated. My theory is if you're a coach or if people are coming to you for your expertise and you are giving them something pulled directly from ChatGPT, they're going to stop coming to you and type into ChatGPT, how do I build boundaries with my mum? And then they're just going to do exactly what ChatGPT tells them because it's the same information they're getting from you. What I want us to do today is start thinking about different tools like tools. So ChatGPT is a fantastic tool if we know how to use it. What we're going to be doing is building on... Now, on page... What page is it? Page 24 of your workbook is one form of a ChatGPT prompt. Now, this is something that I find super helpful because what you are doing is teaching ChatGPT how to talk in a way that you want it to. You are feeding it the information for it to generate. So if you struggle with content and copywriting, this is a really cool tool to use to help you get comfortable with putting bits of writing out there. If you, you love copywriting, but you struggle with editing it down, this is a really cool tool to use to edit down your work. It's also a really cool tool to use if you have written a piece and you want to see if it might align with what your ideal client wants. This is a really cool tool to use. So what we do is first off define. So Risen starts for role, instructions, steps, end goal, and narrowing. Now, if you just quickly scroll down to page 25 or have a look at page 25 of your workbook, you will see just how long the prompt is. And this doesn't include any of the information to feed ChatGPT to get it to create the bit of content from. So rather than just popping in, what are 5 ideas for what are 5 content, 5 Instagram captions related to burnout? I'm a coach for women. What are some content ideas? It's probably going to give you the same general ideas that you've seen many other coaches post. It's probably going to have Americanized spelling, lots of jargon, metaphors and similes that contradict each other, really flowery language, won't sound like it's written like a human, won't sound like it's written by you, won't have any of your lived experience in it. So one of the ways to start working with these platforms is to use frameworks to work out your ideas. So first off, R is the role. Define the role that you want this bot to play. So figure out, are you getting it to write something for you? Compose your ideas into writing? Are you getting it to edit something for you? Do you want it to analyze the piece of work and come up with what the keywords are? Are you redoing your website and you want to make sure that your copy that you're writing is SEO optimized, search engine optimized? So outline the role, which for the purpose of the example I've given is act as an expert copywriter for the coaching industry. Simple. Instructions. Articulate what you want it to do. Now, you want to treat the AI with the same depth of instructions that you would give a human. So if you are hiring someone to help you write this piece, edit this piece, turn this turn some information into some ads, what are the steps that you would, what is the instructions that you would give them to outline what you want here? So I've got generate an engaging blog style social media post for my upcoming, insert name here, masterclass. And then with the same kind of thing in mind as if you are talking to a human and giving another human these instructions, list step by step what you want it to do. Now, people use all different types of AI. I use ChatGPT. ChatGPT lets you attach PDFs, you can attach images, you can copy and paste in a lot of information. So before you even go to start using it, I would gather all the bits and pieces that you want it to pull from. So if you have abstracts of a few journals, that you want it to pull information from, if you found some research, if you found a couple of websites that have some really cool information, it won't be able to read the URL and jump onto the website. But if you copy and paste the information into a Word doc or just somewhere you can have on the side, gather all your information first and then give it the steps. So please use attached document or following notes to create a 300-word post split into the below segments that produces E, our end goal. An easy to follow explanation of named masterclass, the research that you've provided, and information on your business. So it's essentially, it's not a cheat, right? Using ChatGPT as a tool, it's not a cheat because you can't, if you want it to sound like it's written by you still have to find all the information. You have to have the full knowledge of what are your business core values, who is your target audience, what kind of tone or language your target audience is going to respond to, the way that you want to sound, feel, put yourself out there, the framework of how you want it to look. What this is just a tool to help you get all those thoughts out there. Because I don't know about you guys. Also, yeah, be real polite. I always say my pleases and thank yous. But, I am a professional copywriter. So this writing stuff is easy for me. I couldn't for the life of me, if my business involved me having to be an inner work coach, I would need every single tool in the world because that part would not come easy to me. And when we are having our own businesses and we realize that it isn't just being an awesome coach that that makes a business, it is what's on your website, what information can potential clients see, having, onboarding forms, coaching booklets, whatever your modalities need you to have, being able to have a tool where you can teach it to help you is very handy. So then we want to narrow it down. So in the narrowing, I always, I'm very specific about saying that the post should be written, or the output or the whatever should be written in British Australian spelling, because without a doubt, these chatbots always rely on American spelling. So a dead giveaway that someone has just copy and pasted straight from ChatGPT is Z's where S's should be. without a doubt. And it's one of the first things when I'm working one-on-one with clients and I'm doing a bit of an audit of their website and their socials and things like that. The first thing I look for is, I'm like, was that ChatGPT? Now, sometimes it's just a spelling mistake, and that is so fine. And then, narrowing it down. So British Australian spelling, no jargon or flowery language. It should sound like it is being explained by a human, written by a human, explained to a human. Please make sure to use the attached brand values and tone when composing. Now, when I am attaching my information up in steps, I always make sure that I have attached information about or pasted in information about who my ideal client is, who this piece is being written for, what my brand values are, what those 3 words, I come back to those 3 words that we did first session yesterday, what those 3 words are that I want my, the people who interact with this content to feel, and any other information about my brand values. Any words that you don't like, if there are words, and we all have them, or phrases that just rub you the wrong way. If there's words or phrases that you know will rub your ideal client the wrong way, feed it in so that when you get the output, it's not in there. And most importantly, you're going to have to edit. Anytime something gets churned out, you will have to edit it. You will have to make it sound like you. This cannot give your lived experience. Even if you feed it a story, you feed it your success story, your origin story, little parts of your life, it still isn't you. So you will have to edit things, change them, put the emotion where you want the emotion. But what this can do is really take some of the stress out of having to rewrite something, create something, edit something. What it can be really handy for, and something that we use it for quite a lot, is when we get feedback. So after this bootcamp, we'll send you guys all a feedback form. And that feedback form automatically populates a spreadsheet. And then what we do is we'll look over that spreadsheet and with formulas that we have, pop that information into ChatGPT and get a debrief of how we went, what the main feedback was, areas we need to improve, things that were really, that worked well. So instead of having to hire someone to do that analysis, or for us to sit down and analyse and organise everything, we can read through it, pop it into a chatbot with a formula, and it will churn out information. Now, this is for nowhere else but us. This is just for us. But what it does is streamline our processes, help us creating further content, further information, further handouts, because we have an idea of how people reacted to things or what people liked or didn't like. So getting comfortable using this as a tool is, and yeah, again, not necessary. You don't need to use it if you don't want to use it. But if it is daunting for you to come up with copy for your website, for your coaching books, for your socials, whatever it may be, this can be a really cool tool to lean on.
Say where I found it useful, I am not a copywriter. So if I was going to give information to a copywriter to write what I needed them to write, and I give exactly the same information to this, it gives me a really good sort of facsimile of what I would get by paying someone else to do it. And what it does is it prompts me. And I go, oh, yeah. And then I can get on a roll with it. Like, it is a great tool.
The other thing I forgot to mention is I do always end every single prompt with, is there anything else that you would need from me to complete this task? Because it might say, depending on what the prompt is, it could say, is there a call to action, or what are the next steps you would like your readers to follow, or something like that. This can be particularly handy if you are looking at creating some automated emails. So if someone opens this one, then it leads them to this one, then it leads it to this one.